3 days preaching. 3 days. They have remained with me 3 days and have nothing to eat. If I send them away hungry to their homes, they will faint on the way. Some of them have come from a very far, great distance. And his disciples answered him, where will anyone be able to find enough bread here in this desolate place to satisfy these people? And he, being Jesus, was asking them, how many loaves do you have? Now you're getting in the business, Jesus. And they said to him, and I'm sure they said it with attitude, 7. Got all these people here, we ain't got but 7 loaves of bread. And he directed the people to sit down on the ground, and taking the 7 loaves, he gave thanks and broke them, and started giving them to his disciples to serve to them. And they served them to the people. They also had a few small fish, and after he had blessed them, he ordered these people to be served as well. And they ate and were satisfied. In other words, full. And they picked up 7 large baskets full of what was left over of the broken pieces. Verse 9. About 4,000 were there, and he sent them all home satisfied. Let's pray. Father, it's by your word that we live. Without your word, we die. We choose life, Father, so help us to be obedient to your word.
Yes, we do, Lord.
Sanctify this time, Father. We ask these things in Christ's name.
Please.
Amen.
Amen.
Again, upon selecting this particular message, this particular sermon today, I thought of many other things that I contemplated saying. But only one thing just kept stirring up in my spirit. And that one thing is what we all need, whether we know it or not. And that's to be reminded today to simply just trust Jesus.
Amen.
I don't know if this message is to give hope to some who have put their trust in the government and not in God. But what I do know is that every one of us who claims to be a child of God must trust God.
Amen.
It really doesn't matter who in office. It doesn't matter what the circumstances is.
That's right. That's right.
We still have an obligation to always trust God.
Amen.
Always trust Jesus. And so I just hope these similar words will just resonate in your spirit. And although they are simple, they are actually very, very strong terms. Trusting Jesus. I'm sure that you know this already, but I need you to impress me this morning. Please impress me this morning by hearing the repetition of this miracle again. I'm sure if you've been in church for over a year, you've heard this sermon or read this verse. I think, though, there is a very noteworthy miracle that takes place here, because out of all of Jesus' miracles, approximately about 40 of them were mentioned in the gospel. This is the only one of those 40 miracles that is mentioned in every gospel. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It's repeated in all 4 of the gospels. This one alone is repeated in all that. That speaks alone of its uniqueness, if you will, that it alone is repeated in all 4 of the gospels. It speaks of its importance. Because if there's any one thing that every child of God must do in order to remain being a child of God, that one thing is simply trusting Jesus. Amen. That can be seen in many forms, but I'm just going to give you just one simplistic thing to remember. Just put it in his hands. If you trust Jesus, then give it to him. Now, don't think that you're the only one anyone in here today with an it or several it's, a whole bunch of it's. The truth of the matter is we need to put everything in his hand, not just it. And when we learn to put our it's in his hands and we see what he does with our it's, those things, those people, those circumstances, those problems, when we put those things in his hand and trust him, our children in his hand, our country in his hand, our families in his hand, our churches in his hand, that co-worker in his hand. Let me go there, y'all. That church member in his hand. Wow, if we would just put it in his hands.
Yes, Lord.
Trust him by putting them in his hands. We'll see what God does when we put it in his hands.
All right.
Now, it seems obvious, but the truth of the matter is, the devil has been very busy, and not only busy, but very successful, if you will. Very successful at getting people who profess to be Christians to be double-minded.
All right, all right.
I can't repreach last week's sermon, but there's Google it somewhere out there. But I talked about that last week. Double-minded. The devil, he's successful when he can raise up a partition. That's what it says, up in our minds, and have us to serve God with one mind. In other words, we talked about last week being schizophrenic and then serving him with the other mind.
Yeah.
He feels he's one when he just got us to be double-minded. Now y'all know what double-minded
All
means.
right.
You know, we want to serve God, but we seek to serve ourselves. We know what's right, but we always find ourselves doing what's wrong.
Preach, Pastor.
The devil don't have to get us to sin. All he got to do is raise a petition up in our mind and get us to be double-minded.
Yeah.
But he's been very successful at that, ladies and gentlemen.
Very successful.
Getting professed Christians to be double-minded.
Yeah.
There are literally people who have been duped into believing that the Bible is not trustworthy. You know, it says there's gray areas in the Bible. God, he hasn't specifically spoke to everything. God, who created everything, has specifically spoke to everything. Or the way y'all would say it, everything. No room for doubt, ladies and gentlemen. God has addressed every issue. The point is whether or not we believe the Bible is trustworthy. Hebrews tells us that Jesus is the same today, yesterday, and forevermore. Amen. So I always tell people, if you want to know how God feels about something, then look for the very first time you see it in the Bible, because that's how he still feels about it today. Amen. And I'll let y'all fill in the blanks. Because the very first time anything is mentioned in the Bible and God gives his position on it, he still has that position on that today. If God was progressive like you and I, he wouldn't be God. If God had to change his mind like you and I do, he would not be God. So anyhow, let's look at this text today, because the devil, he has gotten people from just having seemingly innocent thoughts, have messed people up. But with that, all the divine dominoes, if you will, of our eternity destiny is destroyed by him just simply placing doubt in our brain. Did you hear what I just said? Maybe you missed what I said. Doubt is the first domino. You know when you stack dominoes up and then you touch that one and then all the rest of them fall? Well, doubt is the very first domino. When the devil is successful at touching that first domino, it knocks down all of the other divinely designed dominoes that lead us to eternal destiny. They are destroyed simply by doubting God. Because if you doubt the Bible, which is God's written word, then by default you doubt Jesus, because Jesus is the living word. So if you doubt the written word, then you have to doubt the living word. And if you doubt the living word, then Jesus said, no one comes to the Father but through me.
That's right.
So let's look this morning at this text and see how it challenges us to simply just trust Jesus.
Amen.
Overall, this text shows us that even if we have is, or as it may seem sometimes, inadequate stuff, if we would just trust Jesus enough to give him with what we have, he will take it, break it, multiply it, hold it now, and use it to bless others and then us. So we get it twisted, and there are false prophets who are out for self-profit who let us think that the blessing should be for us first. No. It's never for us first. He uses it to bless us so we can bless others and then bless us. I hope you got that. If we're going to use our lives to prove that we trust Jesus, then that means we're going to have to be put in situations, catch this now, that we can prove that we trust Jesus.
All right. Simple as that. All right.
I said, if we are going to use our lives to prove that we trust Jesus, then we're going to have to be put in situations that prove that we what? Trust Jesus. We're going to have to have some fiery furnaces time. We're going to have some lion den time. We're going to have some David and Goliath time. We're going to have some widow with nothing in the cupboard left but just a little bit to God. We have to be put in situations where we can trust God so we can prove that we trust God.
Amen. Amen.
Our problem is we don't be put in those situations, so we work 2 jobs. We do that other stuff to make sure we don't ever get put in that situation. We won't give our last because I ain't gonna be broke again for nobody. So we say.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
God is just waiting on us to trust him. Because if he puts us in those situations, and see, here's the thing about it. When he does it for you one time,
Lord have mercy.
All right.
that's what I'm saying. When he does it for you one time, you want him to do it for you every time.
Yes, Lord.
Our problem is we won't let him get to that first time.
Amen.
But we need to trust him.
Amen.
Amen. Somebody's listening to that today. Somebody needs to trust him today. Somebody here know they've been doing it on their own. Somebody here today know they've been putting themselves in comfortable situations, making certain that they don't ever get uncomfortable.
Amen.
I'm just saying you got to be placed in an uncomfortable situation so you can trust me. So that you can trust me.
Yes, Lord. Amen. Yes, Lord.
So Jesus wants all believers that believe him. He wants that we believe that he can do anything, especially in this economy of God. In this economy of God, we must, watch this as this text is going to show, we must supply the loaves.
Lord have mercy. All right.
We must supply the loaves that we have before he will provide the dinner that we all need. Did you hear what I said? Now, I'll do a little thing here. I'm going to do it with you today. Kind of do a little thing. I give you a phrase because I know y'all like watching movies for 2 hours, but you can't have a 45-minute sermon. I understand that.
Lord have mercy.
I said that.
All right,
I know we can watch repeated shows we know how they're going to end. Then we get on Facebook and we, girl, did you see it? Oh, man, did you see it? I know it's difficult, so I help you when you come to church. I give you a little catchphrase every once in a while. I'll tell you, turn to your neighbor, I can say repeat it. That way when you wake up at the end of the sermon, the catchphrase will have something to do with the close of the sermon. And you can act like you heard the whole sermon.
All right.
The catchphrase is today is simply this. Say, do you want a carry-out?
A carry-out.
That's a carry-out. You know when you go out to eat, they see you got stuff left over, and they ask you.
All right.
That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about.
All right.
Notice, if you will, again, Jesus does not start multiplying the loaves with nothing to multiply. Now, this is Jesus, who is God. He could have done it. You do understand that, right?
All right. That's good.
Somebody catch it. He really didn't need to have bread to multiply. Because everything from anatomy to DNA to all of the molecules, the molecular those smaller things. God made those things. And he made them ex nihilo. That means out of nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So he really didn't need the loaves to make the loaves. He really don't need your stuff to make your stuff multiply. He really don't need it. But the whole issue is not about being spectacular. The whole issue is about us becoming spiritual. So he uses it, but we've got to trust him to be willing to give it to us.
Yeah, all right.
So when he asked for 7 loaves of bread here, it wasn't that he needed them. He wanted them. Because he wanted his people to get something out of it, to begin to trust him. He took this opportunity to teach a principle that great things, they start with small beginnings.
Yeah.
In other words, Jesus' hands, when we put whatever we have in his hand, you know what I'm saying? It's not too little. Now, you get what I'm saying? That is too little to put in his hands. If we put it in his hand, we're showing him that we're going to trust him with it. I would spend time and give you an example, but I'm going to move on to these verses. Look at verse 1, chapter 8, verse 1 through 3. It says, in those days when there was again a large crowd, they had nothing to eat. Jesus called his disciples and he said to them, I feel compassion for these people because they have reminded me. By the way, we read the Bible here.
All right. Yeah.
See, I feel compassion for the people because they have remained with me now 3 days and have nothing to eat. If I send them away hungry to their homes, they will faint on the way. And some of them have come from a long distance. I'm sorry, every time I read that, I have to pause because when my wife get hangry, I didn't say angry. She get hangry.
Yeah.
She makes it like she's going to faint if I don't stop right now. Give her something to eat. So I just can't read that verse without having that picture of her. Maybe y'all don't like that, but mine, she lets me know. It's now or never.
All right.
I'm hungry now. Let's get something to eat.
Yeah.
So Jesus said, I don't want these people to faint on the way home. In these verses, we see that being in the presence of Jesus, it can be magnetic.
Yeah.
Because they had been with Jesus for over 3 years. And it was like they really didn't want to leave. You know, they really didn't want to leave. After 3 days, whatever food they had, you know, they may have brought with them. You know, they said, listen, Jesus in town, pack some lunches, girl, because, you know, he preaches. So they took some food. We're going to stay there for the whole revival. But after 3 days, all the food had been eaten.
Yeah.
And they had completely used it all up. Jesus, being aware of this, the text says he was moved with compassion. Notice, if you will, true compassion and love is not only expressed in words, but it's expressed in deeds as well.
Yes, Lord.
So let me make it plain.
Yes,
Watch out
Lord.
for folk who compassion only consists of words.
All right.
And I know how you feel.
All right.
I'll pray for you. No. When you're hungry, empty, when your situation needs to be fixed, now you have to, if you really move with compassion, it's going to move far beyond just expressing words. That's going to also be accompanied by deeds as well.
Amen.
Y'all hungry folk need more than just prayer.
Amen. All right.
Amen.
Preach, Pastor. Preach. Amen.
Okay, verse 4 through 8. Let me get on. It says this. It says, and his disciples answered him. And y'all know they wasn't humble by this time.
Yeah.
Well, will anyone be able to find enough bread in this desolate place to satisfy these people, they asked. And he was asking them, how many loaves do you have? And they said 7. You know, with an attitude. 7. You know. Basically they said, look at all these people. We ain't got number 7.
Yeah.
That's all we got.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I know y'all can't imagine that, but Peter would have said that.
Oh, yeah.
What? We ain't got 7. verse 6. Jesus directed the people before he even talked to the disciples. And my sanctified imagination after they said, well, you got the 7, Jesus just kind of turned away from them.
Yeah.
And looked at the cross. Okay, I'm going to need all y'all sit down. We finna eat.
Yeah. All right, Pastor.
I can only imagine what his disciples was thinking right there. You know how sometimes Pastor says something, and then, even while he's talking, you you lean over to somebody and say something about what he just said. I mean, maybe not y'all, but that happened in other places.
Yeah.
And so Jesus turns to him, he tells him, he says, sit down. And all of y'all sit down. We finna eat.
Yeah.
Turns to his disciples. After he had them sit down, he said, now give me the 7 loaves.
Yeah.
And taking the 7 loaves, verse 6 says, he, being Jesus, gave thanks. He broke them.
Yeah.
And started giving them to his disciples.
Yeah.
To serve to them. And they served them to people.
Yeah.
They also had a few small fish. And see, they didn't tell him about the fish.
Yeah.
Did y'all notice? Come on, read the text, y'all. You notice that, right?
All right.
And Jesus, they said, oh, we're going to get this food from him. He said, we ain't got 7 loaves. Don't tell them about them sardines.
Lord have mercy.
I'm going to eat 2 and everybody. Don't tell them about them sardines.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
They also had a few small fish. And after he got them out of them, he blessed them. And he ordered these to be served as well. And they ate and were satisfied. And they picked up the 7 large baskets full of what was left over of the broken pieces.
Yeah.
Now, you must know that the reason why Jesus turns to his disciples is not because he was at a loss of what to do.
Yeah.
Jesus wasn't asking for information. He actually was asking for conviction.
Yeah.
I think here we learn another principle, and that is, as disciples, as children of God, ladies and gentlemen, we need to be awakened to our responsibilities.
Amen.
And not only once we're awakened to our responsibility, we need to take to heart the problem of those with whom we are serving.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see what I mean. Listen, the people that we minister to, the people that we go to church with, the people that we sing that we love God with, their problems, I hope you're ready for this, is our problem.
Yeah. All right.
And we who minister, that we need to take responsibility and do something about the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem with the community. The church is only taking care of the church and not impacting and influence the community. So if there's a problem in our community, it's the church, which is the lighthouse, to have an answer and a response, a biblical response to the problem. If others whom we live with have problems, then their problems are our problems. We don't live on an island. We don't live isolated. Out of all the 12 disciples, there was one who lived an isolated life. You know his name was Judas, right?
Yeah.
And we see how that turned out for him, right?
Yeah.
Watch out for folk who want you to be isolated.
Lord,
Watch out for folk, man, I don't need those people. Yes, you do need those people. You don't know how bad you really do need them. When you think you don't need those people, you need them the most.
Yeah. Yeah. Amen.
Your problem is their problem, and our problem is their problem.
Yeah.
Think about it. The least the disciples could have done was beg Jesus to repeat what he had done before. Everybody say, do you want to carry out?
Do you want to carry out?
See, they had seen Jesus do this before.
Yeah.
They had seen Jesus get food for folk who didn't have no food. They had seen Jesus by this time resuscitate, bring somebody from the dead. They had seen Jesus. What they could have done at this time, I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying right here, is just simply beg Jesus to do what he did before. See, if you don't ever let him do it, then you'll never know he can do it. These disciples had saw him do it, and they didn't have enough sense to ask him to, as a little child would say, do it again.
Amen.
My grandbabies, when you're little, I do something with them, they really, really like it. Do it again, Poppy. Do it again, Poppy. Y'all not hear what I'm saying? 3-year-old got enough sense to say, do it again. Y'all not hear what I'm saying? If you can brag beside yourself? Not y'all. No, but everybody in the world, some people in here.
All right, pal.
Watch this now. That brings me to this question. Why, after seeing Jesus feed other people early, the disciples doubt his ability to feed people again? Was it because the conditions were not favorable? Because if you read the text, it says something in here. They weren't, sitting in, a cafe. Right. They were out in a deserted, desert place.
Yeah.
Was it because the 5,000 now, there were no farms and villages nearby where they could have went and purchased things for themselves? Yeah. Was it because this time is different from the last time? Because this time they're in the wilderness. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe we don't ask him to do it again because it doesn't look favorable the second time.
Lord have mercy.
So the question is asked in face, what do our faith look like? How do you give and serve? Do you only do it when your personal conditions are favorable? Not y'all, but I met some church people.
All right.
That when conditions are favorable for them,
Yeah.
they can be faithful.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. All right.
But when conditions are not favorable, when circumstances are not comfortable, when they got to go out beyond their comfort zone, when they got to do something different, they got to do something harder than easy.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, just the faith.
At that time, now they don't want to do it because now it calls for them to be faithful because the conditions aren't favorable.
Yeah. Preach, Pastor.
Everybody say, do you want to carry out?
Do you want to carry out?
Another valuable point I need you to pick up here is you could have the answer for others' dilemma.
Woo!
Amen.
You hear what I say?
Yes, sir.
These 12 disciples had the answer. Everybody else dilemma. You did not hear what I said.
Yeah.
You did not say. You did not hear what I said. You remember Job's problem? His friends had the answer.
Yeah.
For his dilemma. You could be the very one who have the answer to folks' dilemmas, ladies and gentlemen. You could have the answer, but because you are either, not y'all, we're going to talk about everybody else except for y'all, because you are either stingy,
Lord have mercy.
All
or
right.
selfish,
Yeah.
All right.
or ill-informed, or misinformed, or let's try this, even unwilling to trust God.
Lord
All
have
right.
mercy.
All right. That's the one. That's the one.
Somebody could be going through something.
Yeah.
Somebody better catch this, and they don't have to be going through it, but they're going through it because of you.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah.
They had the answer,
Yeah.
but they were unwilling to give what they had.
Yeah.
Notice the disciples' question in verse 4. They said this. The answer said, "Well, will anyone be able to find enough bread here in this desolate place to satisfy these people?"
Yeah.
Jesus answered them and said, "How many loaves do you have?"
Yeah.
Too many of God's people are looking for enough. Let me help you out. If it's from your perspective, it's never ever going to be enough.
Yeah.
Amen.
And I don't care if it's more than everybody else got.
Yeah.
It's never ever going to be enough from our own worldly perspective.
Yeah.
So what he says here to them in so many points, he asking them, and they were looking for more because we only have 7 fish, 7 loaves of bread.
Yeah.
If you offer what you have up in faith
Ooh, say.
and trust him,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
he will make what doesn't look like enough
Yes.
More than.
to be, thank you very much.
More
Thank you very much. To be more than enough.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes, he
if
will.
you don't believe that, I do understand why.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's because he have never done it for you.
Yeah.
But if you ever allow yourself to be in that position and trust him and watch him do it for you, God have mercy. You want to stay in that position. You want to do it over and over again.
Yes, Lord.
That's what Job was trying to say. Listen, I came here, Nick.
Yeah.
You hear what I'm saying? I know he was rich, upright, all that, but he didn't come here like that.
Yeah.
That was only one man born king, and I figure out who that was. Born king. Somebody gonna get that in a minute. There's only one man. Y'all missed what it said. That was born king. You can't be born king. You have to become king. Just one man was born king. So Job said, listen, naked I came, naked I leave. He did the math.
Yeah.
If I came here like that, and I leave here like that, you know, hear what I said? Job said that's a win-win. He didn't take nothing from me.
Yes, Lord.
We keep thinking if we lose something that we get, after we get here, God have mercy, we don't lost something.
Yes,
We
Lord.
come here lost. If we don't get something, we'll stay lost.
Yes, Lord. Praise God.
Take around about 7, 8 o'clock tonight.
It'll catch up with you. It sure will. It'll catch up with you.
Yes, Lord.
It will.
Yes, Lord.
Notice, Jesus instructed the disciples to give all the provisions they had on hand. Disciples never considered going into their reserve stash.
Lord have mercy.
Come on.
Lord have mercy. Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody said, do you want to carry out? Oh, Lord have mercy. I know I'm in somebody's garage with the door
That's
shut
all
right now
right.
and the car
That's all
running
right.
right now. Intoxicated somebody right here.
Yeah.
They never ever considered going into their reserve stand. They didn't mind discussing what others needed, but they wasn't going to think about meeting their needs from their own private phone.
Yeah. All right.
Jesus, let's just pray for them, Jesus. And send them home.
Lord have mercy.
I mean, they were in the desert. And surely God wouldn't want them to deplete themselves. I'm talking about disciples.
Yeah.
Because I know they had like rationalized. Hey, how big is this? We got to make it home.
Yeah.
Keep them sardines in your pocket. Keep them self-loaded. We're going to let Jesus handle this.
Yeah.
We got to get home.
Lord have mercy.
They would never ever consider, going into their personal private phone. They even they were in the desert. They said, certainly Jesus don't want us to mess with our. I know some of y'all got them just in case phones.
Yeah.
Emergency money. I'm trying to,
Yeah.
Okay, y'all don't have.
Trying to
Okay.
hit everybody.
You know that this is a long name, but some of y'all got this kind of money. Look, I've been broke before. I ain't gonna ever be broke again.
Yeah.
I'm not spending that. This is my emergency backup money.
All right.
This is for me.
Yeah.
Lord, I'm here upset. Don't mess with the lottery money. That's off limits right there. Lord, no, I got $25 a week dedicated.
Ouch.
For all you visitors, when that thing got up to 1 billion or whatever it was, I asked our church members if we could look at their purses and their wallets. I want to see how many of them had some tickets in there. They had never considered their reserve stash.
Yeah, Lord
They
have
never
mercy.
considered their emergency money.
Lord have mercy.
Why? They thought in their mind, why not give some of what they had instead of all of what they had? I mean, think about it for a minute. The miracle would have been, I could hear them, in their mind. You know what, Jesus? Hold on, I got it. We'll give you one loaf. See, Jesus, it'll be more spectacular if you multiply it with 1 loaf instead of 7 loaves. Y'all not praying. They done figured out how to make Jesus look better. We ain't got to give you everything, Jesus. Let's just give you a little bit, Jesus. Matter of fact, it'll be more spectacular if you do it with a little instead of the 7.
Lord have mercy. Yeah. Yeah.
They thought Jesus was about being spectacular with his miracles, but he never was about being spectacular with his miracles. He was about making people become more spiritual. Let me tell you what I'm saying. So whatever, I believe in miracles, but I don't need another miracle.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me why.
Why?
Because I trust Jesus.
Amen.
I don't have to ever do another miracle in my life. I don't have to ever see him perform another miracle in my life. I trust him. I believe in miracles, but I don't need a miracle.
Yeah.
All right. Preach, son.
Yeah.
So here they were, they had rationalized, they had made it logical in their own minds, and they said, you know what, this is what we do. Jesus, just do it with a little instead of a lot.
Yeah.
See, on the surface, the average reader would see on one side of the miracle here, but this is a two-sided miracle. And even though the disciples didn't know it, the miracle was intended more for them
Yeah.
than it was for the others.
Amen.
Did you hear what I said?
Amen.
See, a lot of times you placed in a position and you think you're in that position for others.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is that you ain't more for you than for them.
Amen.
Okay, y'all.
Amen, amen.
There's somebody you work with, live with, married to, date,
Yeah.
and you kind of wish they wasn't in your life. They're there more for you
Yeah.
than you are there for them. There's nothing more to
Amen.
teach us grace, nothing more to teach us patience, nothing
Yeah.
more to teach us forgiveness, nothing more. See, if we didn't have them type of people in our life, then we never need to exercise forgiveness.
Yes, Lord.
So there in your life, patience.
Yes,
You
Lord.
know them fruits of the Spirit?
Yes,
Long
Lord.
suffering. You understand?
Yes, Lord.
Okay, y'all
Yes,
get in the
Lord.
carry out. I'll put
Yes,
it in the carry
Lord.
out. I'll put it in the carry out.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Others might be going through something because of you or in place of you,
Yeah.
and you don't even know it.
Lord have mercy.
But when you make up your mind to bless them,
Yeah.
you will see that God is going to use that
Yeah.
to bless you. The
Amen.
truth of the matter is Jesus could have provided food for the hungry without disciples ever surrendering that food.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but what I see in this is it's not until we give
Woo. That Jesus.
what we have to Jesus
Yeah.
that it's going to be used properly anyway. Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
I don't care where we place it or where we put it. It's not until we give it to Jesus that it's going to be used properly.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Amen, amen.
Everybody say, what is it? Do you want to carry out?
Do you want to carry
Let this thing go. The Bible doesn't say it, but I'm sure that the miracle of multiplication didn't happen while the bread and the fishes were in the disciples' hand.
Yeah.
The miracle of multiplication happened
In Jesus' name.
when it was in
Jesus'
hand. Y'all know what I'm saying.
Yes, Lord.
See,
Yes, Lord.
I can see Peter narrate this. Bartholomew, give me one of them loaves. And give me a loaf. And Bartholomew gave it to Peter, and Peter probably said, here.
Yeah. When
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Some of y'all don't say it, but that's how you
Yeah.
do it.
With an
You
attitude.
give it like you don't want to really give
Yeah.
it. You know, here.
Yeah. Lord have mercy. Yes, Lord.
Remote control at home. Here.
Yeah, Lord. Ouch.
Your last money. Here.
Ouch!
Oh, Lord, all right, I'm melting now. Let me free.
Amen,
So
Pastor.
I'm certain that it happened when it was placed in Jesus' hand. But if you notice, Jesus didn't pass it to the people.
Yeah. All right. All right. All right.
What they gave, he gave it back to them. And then, oh, y'all don't hear what I'm saying. And it just kept on multiplying as they get. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in case you don't know me, let me clarify it. I'm not talking about prosperity here.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm talking about right here.
Amen.
I'm not talking about the hundredfold blessing here. That's not what I'm talking about right here. I'm simply talking about, only talking about God meeting people's need in ministry.
Yeah.
And the people in ministry are willing to meet people's needs.
Yeah.
You don't need prosperity if that happens.
Yeah.
Teach Pastor Bob.
Yeah.
Teach Pastor Bob. I know you ain't never heard that before, but let me remind you of it. It's in Acts chapter 2.
Yeah.
It was some average folk, some broke folk, some blue collar folk. When they said there were folk who had some need, he said, and everybody's need was met.
Yeah.
And that's because average folk, regular folk, teach Pastor Bob,
Yeah.
gave to folk who had a need, and their needs were met. And as a result, 47, and the Lord added to the church daily.
Yeah.
As such should
Yeah.
be saved. I ain't talking about prosperity. I'm simply talking about meeting needs. Some of you are trying to make the miracle of multiplication happen for you in your life,
Yeah.
in your hand, through a fund, through a mutual investment. I'm not saying something wrong with it, y'all. I'm not saying nothing wrong with that. By way of overtime, you're trying to get the miracle of multiplication. By 2-3 jobs at one time, you're trying to get the miracle of multiplication. But depending on God's plan for your life, y'all, it may never, ever happen until you put what you have into his hands.
Yes, Lord.
Let me say something to you. I say this to our church all the time. Listen, excuse me, I'm going to create some words here. If it's good enough for you now, without God,
Lord,
you understand what I'm saying? If things are good for you now, without God, somebody get you somebody, if everything, at the end of the month, you still got money, you know what I'm saying? and he ain't cheated on you, and you ain't cheated on him, if it's good for you, right now, you got to preach 20 minutes, if it's good for you right now, and you're living apart from God,
Lord,
how much more gooderistic it can get if you're doing it with God. This makes sense all by itself. If it's good without him, it's so much better justice of all with God.
yes, Lord. Yes,
So I have to examine your life right now. Okay, it's good without God, but it can be so much better with God. It's coming. Somebody gonna get this in a minute. So if we put it in his hands, if you really want something to grow, then you need to put it in his hands.
yes, Lord. Yes,
You
Lord.
want a relationship to grow? Put in your relationship in his hands. Whatever it is you need to grow, you put it in his hands. You know what I'm talking. Just draw a blank line, you fill in the blank. Put it in his hands.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Whatever's in God's hands
Woo.
is in the best place.
Yes, Lord.
It's in the best place.
Yes, Lord.
Before we leave these verses, I need you to take note to the order in which the miracle multiplication happened. Then I'm going to be through with verse 8 now. It says this. Notice this. I'll just run through it quickly. This is the order of multiplication. God gives to you so you can have.
Amen.
So whatever you have,
Give to God.
even if it seems inadequate,
Yeah.
remember,
God gave it.
God gave it to you.
That's right.
He gave it to you directly
Yeah.
or indirectly.
Yeah.
Look, y'all, I know that, can I say it here? I know God had used some folk who didn't mean no good to me
Yeah.
to do good to me.
Yeah. Amen.
I know
Amen.
that for a fact, that folk who didn't mean good to me,
Yeah.
God used them to do good to me.
Yeah. Amen.
Now, it may came in the form of something bad they thought.
Yeah.
I'm going to embarrass him. I'm going to show him. I'm going to give him this and embarrass him. And I'm going to let everybody else know that I gave him to him. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Because the end result is I got it.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. And God gave it.
However,
Yes, Lord.
you got to the point to give it to me.
Yeah.
Well, it was directly by God. Somebody get this right now. Indirectly by Satan.
Yeah.
The Bible tells me God, who is good,
Yeah.
can cause all things to work together for the good. Because all I do is love him and
Yes,
walk
Lord.
with him and fulfilling his purpose with our lives.
Yes, Lord. Preach,
I
Pastor.
said, I take what they meant for evil,
And work it out.
and I work it out for good.
Yes, Lord.
He can
So
do
God
it.
gives it to you so you can have it.
That's
Now,
right.
step 2 is you give it to him. And if you don't want to do step 2,
Yeah.
give it to him.
Yeah.
There's a 2A.
What's the
If he
choice?
has to,
All right.
he'll take it from you.
All
Yeah.
right.
Amen.
He'll take it from you. He'll bless it, give thanks for it, and then he gives it
Back.
back to you.
Yeah.
See, everyone seems to forget or minimize this step. You then serve others in ministry. Remember that it wasn't free food forever for anyone. This wasn't all you can eat for everyone who was there.
All right.
Somebody's gonna get this in me. I'm close. I'm here to let the thing go. Y'all, they didn't say run around and find everybody and tell them to come here.
Yeah.
That's not what he said.
Yeah.
He said, how many, everybody here, right now, sit down, we finna eat.
Yeah.
Y'all not hear what I said. I think I'm saying it different. Somebody get this to me. This was not, ladies and gentlemen, for free food for anyone.
Everybody. Yeah.
This was special food. Lord have mercy. It was an all you can eat for everyone that was there.
Yes, Lord.
Everyone.
Yes, Lord.
Oh, Lord. That's some folk who could have had it,
Yeah.
but they didn't come.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. So if you keep on coming, you never know when free food will be on.
Yes, Lord. Oh, you
Verse 8 through 9, I'm going to cut this thing, we be out in 4 noon. And it says, watch this, it says, and they ate
That's what he said.
and were satisfied.
Yeah.
Right. They
Satisfied.
They full.
That word implied they had the unbutton their pants. talking about. It was pressed down, shaken together, and he was running over.
Yeah.
That's how he gave it to them. He didn't give them just enough. He gave them more than enough.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. I know he works like that in your life, but he works like that in our life.
Yes, Lord.
So watch this. So it says, I'm satisfied, and he picked up the 7 large baskets full of what was left over, and the broken pieces, about 4,000 there, and he sent them away. Listen, too many of God's people are confused about where satisfaction comes from.
Woo! All right. All right.
Y'all, I'm telling you right now, satisfaction comes only from one place,
And that's what
and
God.
that's from God, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, Lord.
She can't satisfy you.
Yes, Lord.
He can't satisfy you.
Yes, Lord.
They can't satisfy you.
Yes, Lord.
We can't satisfy you.
Yes, Lord.
But God can satisfy.
Yes, He can.
If only.
Yes, He can.
This is why they go through their life thinking people think they're responsible for making sure what they have, what they need, and what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But eventually, they find themselves, watch this, like the disciple was at first, fed up, but not fed.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
See, okay.
Lord have mercy.
There's so many folk who are in places that they call worship,
Yeah.
and they're not getting fed.
Yeah. Lord have mercy.
And they have grown disgruntled.
Yeah.
They fed up. We're going to places
Yeah.
where they're supposed to get fed the word of God.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all they get is some worldly encouragement, some life coaching, some cheerleading, some lies, some promises. I asked the church this the other day, you know them folk who been waiting on their season
Yeah.
for seasons? You remember, in 2012 it was their season, you know, and then 12 came and went.
Yeah.
Then 2013 it was your season, and then 2013 came and went, and then 14 came and went, and 15 came and went, and 16 came and went, and 17, and they still sitting in those seats, waiting for their season. And they okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they gonna leave fed out,
Yeah.
but not fed.
Yeah. Lord
That's
have
what's
mercy.
happening, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, Lord.
People tell them about their season instead of telling them about the Savior.
Yeah.
These verses tell us you can be in the middle of your own personal desert or in your own dry spot in your life,
Yeah.
fed up and not fed.
Yeah.
But God will get the resources to you that you need if the people
All right.
in ministry with you
Yeah.
would just trust Him
Yeah.
with what they have.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught that.
All
But in
right.
this text, God took what they were trying to hold on to.
Yeah.
God understands give and take.
Yeah.
He really does. We men think they made that up. If you don't give it and God wants to use it, He has no problem
And take it.
taking it from you.
Amen.
Somebody ask me why.
Wow.
Because it's His anyway.
Yeah.
Let me close with this.
Yeah.
Story is told about a man who had a conscience. See, you will be a miserable Christian if you don't give. I'm talking about of your time, talents, and treasure. I ain't just talking about money.
Yeah.
You're going to be a miserable Christian if you don't give. You cannot be a true Christian and not give. And if you give, that doesn't automatically make you a Christian either. So the story is told of this man who had a conscience about not giving,
Yeah.
Right.
but he never gave.
All right.
He had a conscience,
You sure?
but he never gave.
Lord have mercy.
He was asked about giving a donation for some church purpose, and you know, the church he attended. But he excused himself by saying, you got to catch this, country boy. He said, thank you, Brother Law, for telling me this. I got this illustration last night from you, Johnny. You don't even know you gave it to him. He excused himself by saying, I'm fattening the calf. And when it's fat, I'm going to give the proceeds.
Yeah.
In other words, the church kept saying, hey, you know, man, don't you want to give to the church purpose, try to do something for the community? He said, well, I'm fattening the calves.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna get that a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, in an agrarian culture and society where, you know, everybody have money to give, they bring, you know, food and stuff like that. So his thing to him was, to the preacher, kept telling the preacher, I'm fattening the calf. Johnny kept fattening that calf. I'm fattening the calf.
Yeah.
So I'm fattening the calf. And when it's fat, I'll give the proceeds. He used that same excuse over and over every time he was asked. And when others would ask him, he would give that same response to their appeals. I'm fattening the calf, and when it's fat, I'll get a proceed. Then one day, going up to the country, a little country church, you know, the one that sit on cinder blocks?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Google it. Y'all have to Google it. There was churches that sit on cinder blocks.
Yeah.
And you knew if we was having church, if the flow was going up and down.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, he was headed to one of them type of churches, y'all. And so he was headed to this church. And one day, while he was approaching the church, he was running a little late. You know, when you run a little late, you're supposed to have a little conscience. He was running a little late, and he heard the choir singing from outside. And the choir was singing an old gospel song that says, the half has never been told.
All right.
That's what we want to know about. The half
Has never been told.
has never been told. There's so much about Jesus and God. The half
Yeah.
have never been told. Well, this man with a conscience in the distance, he had heard those words, and he thought the words he heard was, the calf had never been sold.
Okay.
He had a conscience. I'm going to get that in a minute. He was conscience stricken. So he sold a calf and he gave the proceeds to the church. But not because he finally got a conscience, but he thought he heard that the calf had never been sold when they was really saying the half had never been told.
Lord have mercy.
And you get it.
Yeah.
You don't give it to God and he wants to use it.
Yeah.
He knows how to create situations
Yes.
and circumstances to get it
Yes,
from you.
Lord. Yes, Lord.
That was his conscience telling him the calf hadn't been sold.
Yeah.
So he sold the calf and gave the proceeds that he'd been holding on to.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
How many of you made plans for extra money that you knew you were going to have, but before you got it, something you didn't expect happened?
Yeah.
That was
Right.
the calf being sold.
Yeah.
In other words, God took it because he knew you wasn't going to get it.
Yeah. Lord have
And
mercy.
some of y'all think I'm just talking about money.
Yeah.
I'm also talking about lives.
Yeah.
He gave us this life to give back to him. And instead of us giving it back to him,
Yeah.
we're keeping it for ourselves.
Lord have mercy.
And before he allowed you to waste it,
Take
he'll
it.
create a circumstance
Yeah.
to take that very life from us.
Yeah.
The one that he planned for us.
Lord
Amen?
have mercy. Amen.
Listen, God is not trying to take something from you. He really wants to get something to you
Yes.
so you can take more with you.
Yeah.
I hope you didn't miss it. This text says the disciples were satisfied when they were finished. They couldn't eat no more. There were 7 big old baskets of food left over. Now don't miss that. Not only were all their stomachs in the ministry full,
Yeah.
but all those doing ministry was full. And even the ministry itself was full. The basket they used in ministry was full, and everybody was filled.
Yeah.
See, what do you think they did with the leftovers?
Lord have mercy. They took some carry out.
They took the carry out.
Carry
They
out.
had carry out.
I'm going to close this thing. Watch this. Well, watch this. Given the sheer size and the amount of the leftovers,
Yeah.
and the fact that the disciples immediately get into the boat, you have to keep reading, and they were in a small boat, we know that they didn't take them with them.
Lord have mercy.
They each may have took a little doggy bag,
Yeah.
wrapped something up,
Yeah.
kind of put it in that thing right there, but they didn't take the baskets
With them.
with them. They took a little carry-out.
That's right.
Watch this now. It's 12 disciples, each leaving with doggy bags, but prior to that, oh, y'all not hear what I'm saying. What they had, they didn't, all of them, that was not enough for all of them. But when they gave what they had to him, there was enough left for all of them after they had eaten.
Yeah.
So what more than likely happened, since God is not a God of waste? I'll tell you what happened. The people took some carryouts with them
Yeah.
to sustain them all the way home.
Yes, Lord.
Oh, y'all not hearing
All
what I'm saying.
right, all
Y'all
right.
hear me. Sometimes I'm just a little deep, but I'm just a shallow right here. This is a shallow right here. I know what it looks like right here in your life, but you can leave here today with a carryout. And that's why I'm asking you today, do you want to carry out? Because you can leave here today with a carry out that will sustain you all the way home. I ain't talking about to your house. I'm talking about to his house. I'm talking about a carry out that sustain you all the way home. And see, in the world, watch this, y'all. In the world, you can't go to an all-you-can-eat buffet. Somebody gonna get this in a minute and take a carry out. Preach on basketball. Preach on basketball. You can't go to an all-you-can-eat buffet and still take a carry out. They'll think you're crazy if you take a carry out from an all-you-can-eat buffet. But that's in the world. I ain't talking about in the world. I'm talking about in the economy of God, in the kingdom of God, in the glory of God. He'll let you eat at his all-you-can-eat buffet. And then take a carry out. You're not hearing what I'm saying. Let me tell you what he does. God doesn't have a problem with carry out at his all-you-can-eat buffet. So go ahead, watch this now, and carry with you the fruit of the Spirit. As much as you want. Go ahead and carry with you some joy, some peace, some patience, some kindness, some generous, some faithfulness, some gentleness, some self-control. And guess what? As much as you want. You know why? Somebody ask me why. Because in God's economy, in his all-you-can-eat buffet, against such things, there is no law. Go ahead and take yourself a carry-out bag because God does not have a problem with us having carry-outs at his all-you-can-eat buffet. If you leave here today and you ain't full, that's your problem.